Ah, fuck, I'm late, or shitlang for short, is my last-minute submission to the best conlang delicacy experience, which is, I believe, what ABCDE stands for. I'm working without a script here. The conlanging contest hosted by Breathe, creator of Watslang from CCC4, based solely on vibes. The vibe of shitlang is to sound like you are running 20 minutes late and only just now heading out the door. Which makes sense because I'm recording this on the deadline that the contest is due. So let's see if I can do this. Now, it's important to note that shitlang takes heavy influence from both English and from Spanish, because those are the two languages that I actually kind of am conversational in. There's a little bit of influence from German because I took a few German lessons online, but I'm not very good, and I don't think I can hold a conversation. There's not that much influence. I don't know that many words. Uh, the influence from both of these languages is really only in the lexicon, however, because all the grammar is centered around making sure that it's as head on and get the most important information across as quickly as possible. Lang achieves this by using the nouns before the adjectives, S via word order, and what I described as conditional prodrop. This is because the noun is considered to be more important than its descriptors, the subject is considered to be more important than the verb, and the verb more important than the object, and conditional prodrop is prodrop under certain circumstances. I don't know if there's an official term for it. I'm not doing that much research for this one because it's just made up off the top of my head in 2 hours. There is prodrop, but verbs aren't conjugated, so you usually want to state the subject. If you do prodrop without stating the subject with a noun beforehand instead of a pronoun, it's just assumed to be first person. But if you do state the subject by like saying what it is in words, then you can assume it's third or second person, usually third. Now, as for verbs, they can be changed kind of with tense and mood. The two tenses are future and non-future, which are indicated by putting a certain amount of ums and uhs before the verb. Future is and then the verb, and then non-future is and then the verb. And then there's a few moods, there's 5. I'm not going to be using all these tenses. I'm only going to use non-future and indicative, I'm pretty sure, in the translation. But the indicative is the verb and then The interrogative is verb and then The imperative is the verb and then Irrealis is the verb and then sucking your teeth, like, and if the verb is a method, like by doing this verb, it's the verb and then weta. I don't know what that one's called. I this is a rushed conlang. It's strings of ums and uhs and filler words. Also, when I said earlier the verbs weren't conjugated, I kind of lied. I don't know if this counts as a conjugation. I think it does. There is exactly one aspect and one verb conjugation. That is the progressive aspect. You could also call the continuous aspect. I'm pretty sure they're the same thing if a language doesn't have two different forms of it. Um, this is if you holy no, well, that would be an example of it. You would stumble over the verb really bad, and then you would just go fa, and then you would restart the verb, just say it correctly and continue. And that indicates that's like the English ing. It's seeing, because the word see is bel. Seeing would be fa bel, and that's the one conjugation we have. Right, so as for cases, shitlang, I suppose, is nominative accusative because that's what I put. And it's easy for me because I speak English and Spanish, as aforementioned. Cases are indicated with strings of stumbling over articles before the noun. Nominative is just saying the and then the noun. Accusative is the and then the noun. Dative is the noun. Genitive is the fucking noun. And vocative is the noun. A noun is el sol, which means the sun, because Spanish el sol. So in the nominative it's the el sol. The accusative it's the el sol. Dative is the fucking el. No, wait, that's the wrong one. Dative is the el sol. Genitive is the fucking el sol. Vocative is the el sol. It's You would never use the vocative with the sun, I think, but just to show it off. For adpositions, English, Spanish, most natural languages, I would say, at least that I know of, have a lot of them. There's of, in, to, with, over, under, near, far. I don't know if with counts, but I'm counting it because what the hell. Shitlang has exactly one. I suppose if it was to be used as a real language, it could split into multiple, but I don't care right now. It has one, and that one is cursing. If you want to say any adposition, you just say the first half of a curse. Like, take mierda from Spanish, for example, which means shit. It- to turn it into an adposition, you would just say miel, and then whatever is after the adposition. So, of America, miel America. Uh, in a box, miel a box. Also, the part with the adposition, whatever comes after it, always goes at the end of a clause, the very end of a clause, just because it's not important. Sometimes it might be. I don't know. It could be important. I don't care. It's not my priority. It goes at the end of a clause. If there is an adposition, you would follow it up with the clause end marker. If there isn't an adposition, you would still go straight to the clause end marker, because, surprise, the clause end marker marks the end of a clause. The clause end marker is the phrase and sometimes yeah. The yeah is only added if it's the end of a sentence. And can be replaced with any translation of the word and. I'm pretty sure I just use an in the translation text. Maybe I use e once. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter that much because it's the same thing anyway. I also forgot to mention that if a phrase is like really long, like if a subject is could be a sentence on its own, except there's no verb in it, you can end it with the clause end marker to just kind of wrap it all up in one thing and say this is all one thing. And because there's no verb in it, people, whoever you're talking to, should know that's one thing. That's not a clause because there's not been a verb yet. There's also the matter of subordinate or embedded clauses. I believe they're called. Uh, it's a smaller clause within a clause. That's what I'm talking about. Those are marked by starting it with just a string of muttered curses or sprinkling muttered curses throughout. I don't think I use them. I'm like 98% sure I don't use them in the translation text, which is unfortunate because it would have been funny. But that's how you mark them. As for number, um, no, there isn't any. Passive voice is denoted by putting just a long shit in. That sounds so wrong. By just elongating the word shit and putting it in front of the verb. I forgot an there. It doesn't matter. So, like, you could say the accusative. You would say the accusative thing. The agent. No, the patient. That's the agent. You would say the patient, and they go shit. And then you would say the agent. That's the agent. The agent is the subject, and not well, no, because that's the subject, but it's patient. Patient, agent, subject. I don't know if that counts as an object, but that's the nominative one. That's the agent. I'm not speaking right, but I'm better at linguistics now, I promise. I know more terms. Finally, the writing system in Shitlang. If you want to write in Shitlang, you just kind of write the words from the language of origin really sloppy and quickly. I don't know if this works as a writing system, but I don't care because the language, theoretically, works as a language. The translation text, I managed to gloss it, so I assume it works as a language. Uh, that's the writing system. It doesn't matter, but it exists. We've now finally made it to the translation text for Shitlang. Yay! Now, I skipped phonology because I'm pretty sure there isn't any, and I skipped phonetics because it's whatever sounds right in the moment. I didn't put that much detail in this language. If you couldn't tell, I made this language in 2 hours 2 nights ago at from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Anyway, um, if I focused, I suppose I probably could read this whatever I've written, which is just the first clause, by the way. This isn't really a full sentence. I suppose I could, but I'm not going to. So instead, I'm reading it from my documentation in my other hand. Here we go. The person in Taily, shit, yeah, the fucking, the fucking, dial, the pay, crazy, mir, vey, sei, time, the fucking, the L, tai, para, the el sol, no, pause, the vey, sei, time, the fucking palo, motherfucker, atradora, with a, yeah. Del, the mameno, the tengo que go, the fucking words, the fucking palabra muy big, to nasito, and, yeah. And that was, oh fuck, I'm late, the language. The most rushed language. Also, I said twice, I think twice in this video, that I don't speak German very well, which I don't, but I have gotten better at linguistics since October, so I do know that I explained German poorly, quite poorly, in my CCC4 submission. I'm working on a follow up video with corrections to explain it correctly because I can't let that go just. I can't let that just be on the internet without correcting it myself, even though there's corrections in the comments because I asked for corrections. It's I'm just very good at procrastinating, so it's taking a while. This isn't related to ABCDE. I just yeah, I'm making that anyway. Anyway, I'm running out of time to finish this video, and I don't know what else to put at the end. So, thanks, Breathe, for hosting this contest. This was fun, despite the fact that I had to do it really, really quickly because I kept forgetting. And yeah, I don't know. Bye bye. Thank you for watching. But I'll have better content in the future at some point, probably. Bye bye.